Bottom of Tuesday's lessons from last week, there's a quotation there from a book called Faith and Works, and it reads as follows: "If you would gather together everything that is good and holy and noble and lovely in man, and then present the subject to the angels of God as acting a part in the salvation of the human soul, or in merit, the proposition would be rejected as treason." And then the lesson then asks, what do these words teach us about our need for an intercessor in our behalf? It's saying that if we presented with everything good that we can come up with as worthy or meritorious or deserving of salvation, it would be considered treason. Now the question is, why? Why would attempting to present anything good and noble that we find in ourselves to God to merit salvation, why would that be treason to God's government? Looked up in the dictionary, here are the definitions of treason. The offense of acting to overthrow one's government or harm or kill its sovereign. A violation of allegiance to one's sovereign or one's state. The betrayal of a trust or confidence, breach of faith, treachery. So those are the definitions of treason. How would be presenting our noble good works to God to say, I deserve salvation, I merit it because of all this good stuff I've done? How would that be treasonous to God's government? How would that be an act of overthrowing God's government? But how would it be an act of betrayal? How would that be? It would be saying, I don't need you, I can do it myself. Yes?
It's the same idea as the little horn presents.
How so? He says, isn't it the same idea as the little horn? How so?
Supplanting God's method of salvation with something else.
It's supplanting God's method. What's God's method?
Love and trust.
What'd you say?
Love.
Okay, now we're getting in, we're drilling down. See, we're talking about treason to a government. What are the foundations of all governments? All governments' foundations are their laws. That's the foundation of every government, is their law. Human laws are imperial, rules made up that require enforcement. God is creator. His laws are design laws, how reality actually works, okay? So, if you went to God and said, I did all this good stuff, what type of a system would that be operating in? That makes me worthy. It earns something. What would it suggest about the type of government God has if we were to do that? Yes?
Maybe it's showing that the laws are arbitrary, and if I keep them, it's more of an imperial system saying that I don't need divine law because I can do it through imperial law, maybe?
Yeah, no, I like where you're going. It's based on my work. What is Satan's primary weapon against God? His number one weapon? Lies. And his number one lie?
That he's not fair.
Because? Why is God not fair? Because his laws are arbitrary. He just makes up rules and enforces them. Every sin must be punished. Urge Satan, this idea. God becomes the source of inflicted pain and suffering. So the act of presenting good works to God to merit, to earn our salvation, is sustaining the lie that God's government works like human governments. Thus it's treasonous. It furthers the war, the lies or distortions about God's government that Satan has brought. That's why. To make it more easy, it would be like this. It would be like getting Ebola-infected tissue and offering it to people as a remedy to make them healthy. That's what it would be like. You're taking the actual problem and saying, here it is the solution. That's why it's treasonous. Okay, so what about this instead then? We don't offer any good works that we've done to God to merit salvation. You see, that's like a payment method, see? He needs it to pay for the bad stuff or to merit or earn it. We wouldn't do that because we can't. All of our righteousness is filthy rags. What about this instead? We'll offer him instead the blood of a sinless human sacrifice. And if we offer him the blood of a sinless human sacrifice, now that earns our salvation. That's also treasonous, folks. It's also treasonous. It's treason because it's teaching the same lie about God. That's Baal worship. The deity requires something offered to the deity in order to get the deity to extend salvation. Rather than the deity sending. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son to fix the problem so that we could be saved. Nothing had to be done to the deity to get us saved. Something had to be done to us to get us saved. It's complete reversal. So this traditional view of offering the deity the blood of Christ to merit our salvation is also treasonous. Does that make sense? Let's go on to lesson 11, Sunday's lesson.